This isn't a pristine factory floor. This is engineering at the edge, where the failure of a single component can bring an entire operation to a halt. What you are about to witness is a masterclass in mechanical forensics. A series of critical failures, each demanding a unique and brilliant solution. Take close attention. The first diagnostic clue is about to be uncovered. The initial assessment of the old diesel engine. She's draining the oil, the lifeblood of the machine. Here is our first clue: the oil filter. The dark, sludgy state of this oil indicates severe contamination. This isn't just a repair, it's an engine resurrection. The focus and strain are clearly visible. She uses a power drill to speed up reassembly, a modern tool on a vintage machine. Careful work with a wrench over torquing these bolts could crack the aging engine block. Each bolt must be tightened to the correct specification, ensuring a leak-proof seal. The work is grueling, requiring both precision and physical strength. She meticulously works her way through the engine systems, addressing each potential point of failure. This deep-level repair goes far beyond simple parts replacement. Her focus is absolute: a single mistake could undo hours of painstaking work. Each component is carefully reinstalled, bringing the complex machine back to life. The reassembly process is a test of memory and mechanical logic. She continues the rebuild, piece by piece, transforming a dead engine into a functional power unit. The methodical process nears its conclusion. Applying lubricant to moving parts, this prevents seizure during the critical first startup. The work continues. Now, two sets of hands tackle a particularly stubborn component. This collaboration is common in field mechanics, where an extra pair of hands can provide crucial leverage or stability. She moves on to another part of the system, likely a fuel or coolant line. A moment of contemplation. She's likely running through a mental checklist of the repair sequence. The meticulous work of tightening a small, but vital, fastener deep within the engine. Replenishing the coolant, an engine that has been fully drained must be refilled carefully to avoid air pockets. A tactile inspection. She's feeling for correct fitment and any signs of a leak. Disassembly of another component. The diagnostic process is iterative. Each part is carefully placed, ensuring nothing is lost, and reassembly is logical. A final check of her work before proceeding to the next stage. The process of elimination continues until the root cause is found. Reinstalling a part after cleaning or repair. Each step forward is a small victory. Now tackling the radiator assembly. This requires care, as the thin metal fins are easily damaged. The focus and precision required for this work is immense. Reinstalling a smaller component into the main assembly. Working on the exhaust manifold. The rusted bolts here are often seized and incredibly difficult to remove. Her methodical approach ensures no step is missed. The toolbox, a fascinating blend of modern power tools and traditional hand tools, all carried in a bamboo basket. The final shot: exhausted, but successful. The machine has been brought back from the brink. The work never ends now. A light truck, a Kia Bongo, is undergoing preventative maintenance. The daily routine includes keeping the workspace clean. The restoration moves to the interior. She deep cleans the vinyl seats, examining the seat mounting brackets before removal. Removing the entire seat assembly to access the engine bay below. Working on the undercarriage requires getting into tight, awkward spaces. An impact wrench. This tool is a lifesaver for removing rusted bolts from a vehicle's undercarriage. She cleans a component from the exhaust system. Removing carbon buildup can improve performance. Battery maintenance. Cleaning the terminals ensures a solid, electrical connection, preventing starting issues. She's topping up the battery cells with distilled water, a crucial step for maintaining lead-acid batteries. A final clean of the battery posts before reconnection. Another quick inspection of the undercarriage. Removing the air filter housing a clogged filter can starve the engine of air, reducing power. Cleaning the air filter itself, this simple act can significantly improve fuel efficiency. Reinstalling the clean air filter into its housing. The battery is carefully placed back into its tray beneath the truck. Reattaching a component to the truck's frame. A final check to ensure all bolts are secure. She completes the final touches on the front of the vehicle. The maintenance is complete. She stands back, satisfied with her work. The next challenge, a tire repair. This is where strength and technique intersect. She retrieves a bottle of solution, likely a lubricant, to help break the tire bead. From the driver's seat, she assesses the next steps in the process. First, the interior flooring must be removed to access the chassis. Using a power tool to quickly remove the floor panel fasteners. The entire seat assembly is lifted out of the way. Using a breaker bar to loosen the lug nuts, the length of the bar multiplies her force. These nuts are often seized by rust and require immense torque to break free. The jack is positioned on a strong point of the vehicle's frame. With the truck lifted, she can remove the wheel completely. This is a critical and dangerous step, breaking the tire's bead from the wheel rim. She uses a sledgehammer and specialized tire irons. This is a task of pure physical effort. With the bead broken, the old, worn tire is removed. She works her way around the rim, prying the tire off. This process requires a great deal of skill to avoid damaging the rim. The old tire is off now for the repair. She applies a patch to the inner tube, a common fix for punctures. Cleaning the tire before remounting it on the rim. Reseating the tire on the rim, another physically demanding task. Error in description. Using a sledgehammer to set the tire bead back onto the rim. A man checks the tire pressure must be at the correct size for safety. He points out an issue with the wheel hub assembly. She prepares to mount the repaired wheel back onto the truck. Removing the fasteners from the wheel hub. Leverage is key. She uses a lawn bar to pry the heavy wheel assembly. The work is a combination of brute force and careful positioning. A consultation. They discuss the next step of the complex repair. The truck, fully repaired, is back on the road, a successful job. But the work is never done in an emergency call. A small truck is stuck on a steep, muddy incline. She struggles to push, but the wheels have no traction. Realizing she's beat, she calls for backup. Help arrives in the form of the blue truck she just repaired. A vehicle recovery operation is now underway. The convoy heads back, the rescue truck in tow. Now, the diagnostics begin on the rescued truck. Why did it stall on the hill? She starts by removing the seat to access the engine. A power drill makes quick work of the interior paneling. She begins disassembling the dashboard to check the wiring. A close look at the gear shift linkage and transmission tunnel. The scene is set for a major engine overhaul. The truck's interior has been completely stripped. A mechanic begins the delicate process of engine disassembly. He disconnects the battery, a critical first step for any electrical or engine work. He carefully drills out a stubborn or strip screw. This is the cylinder head cover. Removing it provides access to the valve train. The bolts must be removed in a specific sequence to prevent warping the head. The entire cylinder head assembly is now being unbolted. He carefully lifts the heavy component from the engine block. He uses a chemical cleaner to dissolve years of grease and oil buildup. A clean component is essential for proper diagnosis and reassembly. The disassembled parts are laid out for inspection. A woman now takes over, meticulously cleaning each individual part. She uses a small brush to get into every crevice. Each part is inspected for wear, cracks, or warping. The painstaking process of reassembly begins. The mechanic carefully lowers the clean cylinder head back onto the engine block. The bolts are tightened in sequence to ensure even pressure. A final check of the alignment and seating of the head. He reconnects the spark plug wires and other electrical components. The engine overhaul is complete, a complex and successful repair. The focus now shifts to the fuel system. He's removing the fuel rail. The truck's cab has become a mobile workshop, filled with tools. The fuel injectors are removed for servicing. She uses a spray cleaner to remove varnish and deposits from the injectors. Clogged injectors are a common cause of poor engine performance. She diligently cleans all components of the fuel system. The mechanic reinstalls the clean fuel rail and injectors. He carefully reconnects the electrical clips to each injector. A final inspection ensures everything is correctly seated. The repair work continues on another part of the vehicle. She reinstalls the engine cover inside the cab. The complex web of wires and hoses is reconnected. The final pieces of the engine puzzle are put back into place. The moment of truth, she turns the key to start the engine. A successful test drive confirms the repairs are solid. The truck is running smoothly after its extensive overhaul. She gets out to perform a final visual check. Satisfied, she confirms the vehicle is ready for service. Her work on the truck is done. She moves to the next machine, a mini excavator. The cycle of repair and maintenance is never-ending. But the next story is not one of repair, but of damage and dispute. The interior of this truck is completely destroyed. This is not mechanical failure, this is wreckage. A woman surveys the devastation. Her expression is one of shock and distress. She struggles to close the damaged tailgate. A man sits, contemplative. He may be the owner, or the one responsible. A tense discussion takes place next to the wreck. Money is exchanged as settlement for the damages, perhaps. She begins the arduous task of clearing the debris from her ruined truck. A moment of vulnerability and frustration. A tow operation begins, with the familiar blue truck acting as the recovery vehicle. She attempts to assist the tow, a futile but determined effort. The wrecked truck is towed away from the scene. She tries the ignition. Unsurprisingly, the engine is dead. The repair begins first. She removes the battery for testing and charging. She carefully reconnects the battery terminals. She begins disassembling the dashboard to access the electrical system. The damage likely extends to the complex wiring behind the dash. She navigates a tangled mess of wires, searching for a fault. Using wire cutters to remove a damaged section of the harness. She carefully splices the wires, completing the electrical repair. This repair requires immense patience, working in a cramped, awkward position. She continues to trace the wiring, ensuring all systems have power. She removes the battery again, likely to safely work on another part of the system. Working on the undercarriage, addressing mechanical damage. Each small repair is a step towards bringing the truck back to life. A wider view shows the complexity of the engine bay. The reassembly process begins inside the cab. She installs new spark plugs, a key part of the ignition system tune-up. Connecting the spark plug wires in the correct firing order. More components are reinstalled on the undercarriage. The dashboard components are carefully put back together. The painstaking reassembly continues, piece by piece. The repair is finished. She begins the process of cleaning up her workspace. Stepping away from the vehicle after hours of work. She organizes the parts and tools used in the extensive repair. A look of satisfaction. The truck, once a wreck, is whole again. But the restoration is not yet complete. The final step is to wash away the grime of the repair. It's a symbolic act, cleansing the truck of its past trauma. The truck is reborn, both mechanically and aesthetically. She uses a pressure washer to strip away the remaining dirt. The transformation is nearly complete. She washes the floor mats, ensuring every part of the truck is clean. Now, the detailing begins, drying and polishing the paintwork. The interior dashboard is cleaned of dust and residue. She meticulously cleans every surface inside the cab. Cleaning the inside of the windshield for a clear view. She reinstalls the clean floor mats. Closing the tailgate on a fully restored and functional vehicle. A final shot of beauty, a symbol of the life and vibrancy she restores. A very special thank you to the owner of the YouTube channel Fan, Mechanical Girl, for creating this wonderful video and allowing me to comment. If you enjoyed this narrative, please visit and support their channel at the link in the description below.